Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Wildcat Weekly Coaches Report. Joe Stuart here with you on the Linfield Sports Network with head women's soccer coach Steve Simmons. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's another great day on the Linfield campus.
Indeed, it's a beautiful day. A little hot, a little smoky yesterday. It's cooled off a little today. I'm sure you guys are going to have a fantastic practice, I'm sure. But let's get into your first couple games of the year. So you have Evergreen State come to town, followed by OAT. The CCC, a good soccer conference for sure, and that's where all your non-conference games are against CCC opponents this year. So Evergreen State ending in a 2-0 draw there. It seemed like you guys were controlling possession for most of the game, creating a lot of good opportunities. Both goals that you guys scored were assisted on, 8 corner kicks throughout the match. But as it got further on in the match and into double overtime, it seemed like Evergreen State was really starting to keep pace with you guys a lot better, figure some things out, keep their shots going. Did you chalk that up to early season conditioning, or did you see something else that kind of turned the tide in that match?
Yeah, I think there could have been a lot of different factors there. The way we try to set out to play is really to control the game, right? And I think we had opportunities to do that, but we couldn't really get our claws into it. And so when you let a team, you keep them around long enough, there's belief, there's hope, and I think we did that. And in fairness, I think Evergreen is a much improved team. They've got a couple of different players that can ask a lot of questions, which was what we need. We need that before going into conference, and so that was a big learning opportunity for us, because we had many chances to control the game, to pin them back, and we didn't quite do that. We leave ourselves, when we play the way we play, we leave ourselves, to really sort out how we want to defend in transition and how we want to defend in restarts. And in those two moments, that's where we got caught. So those are areas that we will address this week going into this weekend.
I'm sure. And then against Oregon Tech, obviously one of the best squads in the state for small college soccer, one of the top squads in the CCC, and they really showed it. They were in control for much of that match. But I imagine that those are the types of matches where you really learn a lot about your squad. So what were some of your main takeaways against the Owls?
Well, when you're playing a group of programs that have scholarship money, depending on that program situation, there's a good chance that they're going to have bigger, stronger athletes, and that's just the way it's going to be. And you saw that with Oregon Tech. I thought across the board they were strong, physical, which is what we want, because those types of teams, they reduce time and space that we have on the ball, and it forces us to be sharper, quicker in our decisions and what we need to do for the next 2-3 plays. And I thought we did okay at times, but it was a good benchmark for us to go, okay, so we need to be able to do the things we need to do with little time and space, because in my mind, that's kind of what we want to have as our default going into conference and then beyond. And so, that type of team that is going to be physical off the bat, we're going to face a couple of those. I don't know if we'll face a team that is that athletic, but that's fine. That's what I want the players to kind of get used to, as far as how we want to do the things we need to do. And so a lot of times when you lose a game and you don't feel that there's learning involved, but there was a lot of opportunities there. So we're going to take those moments from this last week, the first week, and roll them into this week and see if we have a good week of training going into it.
Yeah, and before we talk about those matches coming up this weekend, you used 9 different subs throughout the 2 matches. What did you like from your depth and your bench so far this season?
Well, the fact that we used a lot of subs is what I like to do. I think we have a lot of capable players to get us minutes, but at the same time, there are a lot of players not only who were new getting minutes, but they're also players that were returning, but they're doing things in a different role. So it's one thing when in years past you might have a role that is more of a supportive role. But now if you're in a role where you're in a featured role, it's different, and so getting those players in their minds used to that shift in role. So there's a whole lot of that going on right now, and when you play these physical teams, it's good to put it out there, and it's good to see where the cracks are, so we can make the adjustments. Our girls are going to make the adjustments. They're going to be fine that way. I just think that if we can continue with a deeper squad rotation when we get into the conference, which is Saturday, Sunday for the most part, is going to serve us well with fresh legs.
Absolutely, those back-to-backs are gonna they always sneak up on you, but that's what the preseason's for, right?
Right.
Getting ready for that level.
Right.
And you do have 2 more preseason games this weekend, as we mentioned. It'll be Warner Pacific on Friday, College of Idaho on Sunday, both more CCC and AIA scholarship teams. What are some of the adjustments that you're talking about that you're looking to make, obviously, without giving too much away?
Yeah.
But just from some of the things that you saw through the draw and the loss, hopefully turning it into a W this weekend.
Yeah, I think most of it is just, doing what we do and just do it better. I think the biggest takeaway is how we want to play when there's less time and space because of being closed down by maybe athletic type players. So that's really the big takeaway. So for us, we have to kind of mimic that in training so that when we face it in the game, we've already been used to it. We've been there and done that. And so that takes time, right? Especially if you're a new player coming in, you're used to maybe more time and space to make decisions. And then you go from, senior in high school to freshman in college, and you've got these young women who are really, really athletic, closing you down, who may be 2-3 years older than you. That's an adjustment. And so we'll put our players through those simulation moments. They'll learn. Obviously, when we're competitive, we want to learn like tomorrow and get it done tomorrow, but I haven't figured that trick out yet. So we'll get there, and the players know this. So we're just looking forward to see if we can move the needle this weekend, get a good assessment where we're at, and then the show starts the following weekend.
That's true. Conference play starting next weekend, but this weekend we'll have Warner Pacific here on Friday night. That one's starting at 7 o'clock, and College of Idaho coming to town on Sunday, a noon start there. We'll have live coverage starting about 15 minutes before on the Linfield Sports Network for both of those games. Coach, good luck this weekend, and thanks as always for the time.
Thanks, Joe. Always a pleasure.